Hi, this is Movie Crank, and today we're gonna talk about Yellowstone Season 5B, Episode 12.
So this episode feels like the calm before the storm. We have many scenes finally addressing the somber mood after John's passing, and it's clear there's trouble on the horizon. So let's get right into the details after a short summary. Rip and the Wranglers establish a new way to raise money for the ranch. Jamie finds himself in the crosshairs of the police, and a tragedy involving a stallion rattles the bunkhouse. Kayce takes charge and faces the person behind his father's assassination. Colby and Teeter have a lovely chat over the phone, and for the first time, Colby confesses his love to her. Man, this episode is filled with bad omens. And you know when things get personal and the character suddenly gets a little more focus, they're doomed. A lot of this is true for this episode. There's a shadow looming all over the ranch and everybody who's working on it. So in the last episode, there was a discussion going on how the Duttons can keep the ranch by selling some land to pay the inheritance tax. Rip and the Wranglers came up with a different idea, selling a big portion of the herd and the horses. Rip emphasizes how hard it is to give up the cattle, but plans to go through with it anyways. Meanwhile, Lloyd and the other Wranglers consider writing applications for other ranches to hire them. It's interesting that they go for selling the livestock. I wasn't even considering this option. If they succeed, they should be able to keep the land together and leave for Tate to inherit. I just wonder how they're gonna keep it afloat in the future though, because there won't be any more cattle to sell. While the cowboys worry about inheritance tax, Jamie has got a tall order of problems himself. The police want to search his house because of his relationship to Sarah Atwood. He tells them to come back with a warrant and pisses off the detective assigned to the case. After the cops are gone, he proceeds to get rid of all the evidence pointing to Sarah and him being involved into the ranch and John's assassination. I gotta admit, I love seeing Jamie freak out and dig his own grave deeper and deeper. Character-wise, I think Wes Bentley plays him far too charismatic for us to hate him. But it's just such a schadenfreude witnessing his self-destruction. I can't wait to see what happens next. Switch to Texas, where Jimmy is trying his best to train horses together with Travis, played by Taylor Sheridan himself. So these past episodes, Jimmy was demoted to being the literal horse's ass again.
Shut up and pay attention! You are mean to me! You insult me and you don't appreciate anything that I do!
Travis keeps teasing him about his lack of effort, that he has left his head with his brunette girlfriend. Rip calls Travis and tells him he needs to sell the horses ASAP, and by the way, John is dead. Jimmy is shaken by the news, but brings in new motivation to train the horses, sort of to pay respects to John Dutton one last time. So news apparently travels very slow in Texas. So slow in fact, that they didn't catch up with the fact that Jimmy's arc as the rodeo clown was closed back in Season 5 Part 1, and that he came back from the 4/6s as a real cowboy. Even everybody at the ranch acknowledges this, and it just pisses me off that Sheridan, a guy so talented that he seems to solely run Paramount Plus, still needs to make fun of a well-respected character, just for some cheap laughs. Sure, make fun of him of getting non-stop action at home. Who doesn't want that? But him lacking the skills to be a cowboy is in the past. At this point, it's just ridiculous and it gets annoying. Anyways, so we're back in Montana and Carter shows mercy to a stallion who was introduced in the premiere episode. He didn't have any water for some time, so Carter puts a bucket of it in the stall. Unfortunately, the animal attacks him and the kid is trapped in the box with him. Colby notices the screams for help and runs into the stable from his ride and helps Carter get out. In the rescue attempt, Colby gets kicked in the chest and drops. Carter gets out, grabs a shotgun, and takes out the stallion. But it's too late, and Colby is dead.
Damn you! God damn you all to hell!
Just when you think having John Dutton taken away hurts so much, they take out the next fan favorite. Before you guys mention it, I know shit like this can happen on a ranch, and it's far more likely than getting killed by high-profile contract killers. I just don't think it's a particularly meaningful death, and unnecessary to the story. Colby deserved to ride into the sunset together with Teeter, worrying about having kids with the same speech impediment like her. I will leave this series knowing that the Bunkhouse Boys lost one of their own. You know, I always liked that no matter how dramatic the show got, no matter how ridiculous, the Wranglers in the bunkhouse always had some feel-good vibe to them. Like nothing can kill them or disturb the peace. Just the real-life Wrangler. Now that's gone now. I hate that Colby's dead, but I gotta thank his actor Denham Richards for his great portrayal of a loyal Wrangler and the best friend. Rest in peace, Colby. You'll be missed. Naturally, Ryan and Teeter are heartbroken after hearing the news, and the other Wranglers are mourning too. Even Rip sheds a tear, and Beth, well, Beth's gotta see a doctor. She's very sweet this episode. Maybe she reserves all the venom for Jamie, but this kind and caring side of her kinda suits her very well. She comforts Carter when he's down and invites him to dine with his family, which is her and Rip, actually. Who would have thought? Now Kayce, on the other hand, is determined to strike back. He has a short talk with his Navy buddy and finds out who was behind his dad's kill. An ex-military guy called Grant. He gears up and heads out, leaving a worried Monica behind. Well, to be honest, it's not a big deal since Monica is always worried. So he heads out and finds Grant, picking up his daughter from a soccer match. He gets into their car and keeps the daughter at gunpoint. Kayce tells Grant that he will come after him and every member of his family if he doesn't drop the attack on the Duttons, and moves away. He goes and whacks him with his pistol, giving him a counting coup. Kayce gets out of the car and gets picked up later by Mo. So I was a little surprised that he let Grant live, but after looking up the term counting coup, I gotta say it's kinda smart. This method was used by the natives to mark a rival in battle in a non-lethal way, letting the enemy know you could kill him at any time and have him live with fear of the rest of his life instead of killing him. It's a clever way to protect his family. Do I think this will stick? No. I guess other people will come around, but I would be surprised if it's this actual guy again. So that's a wrap for this episode. I thought it was a good one. Colby's passing was unnecessary and painful, and also the Jimmy mockery is getting old. But the Kayce and Mo parts make up for it all the way. There's 2 left, and I'm excited what's coming. So tune in next week to hear my thoughts on a brand new episode of Yellowstone.
Thank you for staying this long till the end of this video. If you liked it, please leave a like, subscribe to my channel, and hit that bell icon so you'll know when I crank out another video. Stay tuned, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.